it comes to looking for best examples of top-down shooters, we can look no further than the Hotline Miami series. Hotline Miami is one of those games that inspires a wave of games similar to it. And so now in 2019 we have Ape Out, the next top-down monkey smasher. Ape Out draws many comparisons to being Hotline Miami with a monkey and with a great jazz soundtrack. I mean, just listen to the variety in this soundtrack. Each of those clips represent the 4 levels of the game. You hear the same 4 songs going on loop throughout each of those levels. It gets tiring. Quick. Alright, well, I know what to do with this. I will give it some credit though. The music is dynamic. Just listen to what happens when you kill your enemies. At least we still have the game to enjoy a new Hotline Miami style experience. Except the fact that instead of having a variety of weapons and math skills that you have in Hotline Miami, you're a monkey who has the use of his fists, where he can do 2 attacks. He can push, or he can grab. This of course overly simplifies the gameplay. The only way to add some variety to this gameplay is by grabbing them and fire their weapons. The problem with this mechanic is you have no choice when you get to fire that weapon. As soon as you grab them, that shot goes off. Another major difference between the 2 games is the level design. Hotline Miami designs levels with enemy placement specifically in mind. You have to learn enemy patterns, use the environment to your advantage, use stealth to get around. You know, it uses actual level design. While in Ape Out, you get linear, procedurally generated levels and randomly placed enemies. So sometimes the level will just throw a ton of shit at you at once, while sometimes it's just... yeah. This is the type of game that should not be using random generation in its levels. Because of the randomly generated levels, completing levels comes down to lucky enemies spawn more often than it should. Level design is so important in these types of games. I have no idea what made them think it would be a good idea to leave it out. I guess it doesn't matter too much. Most of these levels you just run straight through with no issue. As a matter of fact, I ran through pretty much the entire game. The game is just that easy. Well, except for this one damn dock level that I died over and over again. I think I died about 50 times on this map, more than in the rest of the game. But, just as I said, it came down to luck, thanks to these randomly generated levels. So if you do want more of a challenge, there is a hard mode. Though of course you don't unlock the hard mode until you beat the level. I hate when games do this. Why not just give us the choice up front? If I want to play with a challenge, give me the damn challenge. I don't want to beat it twice. I beat it once already, and I wasn't very thrilled with it. Why would I want to go back and play again? Now, not only was the game very easy, it only takes 2 hours to complete. All this while charging $15 for the game. The one positive thing about the game comes thanks to Bennet Foddy and his art style. And just like the gameplay, it's a very simplified art style. In the first level, the art does feel a little bland and repetitive. The walls look the same, it's not very lively. But here is also where the game introduces you to its cool effects and blood splatters. But once you get to levels 2 through 4, the art direction really improves. Each level is simple, yet clearly defines what it represents. Each level has its own life, and the art really brings it out. Of course, cool art doesn't make a good game, and unfortunately for Ape Out, the rest of the game was severely lacking. The music was disappointing, and the gameplay was repetitive and boring. Thankfully, the game was so short, so you didn't have to get overly bored with it, though such a short game should not cost $15. Just stick with Hotline Miami and don't monkey around with this one.